Hello guys, welcome back to the Barista Series. This is your Barista Phil, and if you have been following my channel, we have already discussed coffee history, definition, and types. And before we proceed with coffee roasting, let us take a look at who are the top 10 coffee producing countries in the world as today. So please stay with me until the end. And if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and smash that notification bell so that we'll be able to get new updates on my channel. So let us go ahead and take a look at the top 10 coffee producing countries in the world. At number 10, Uganda. One of Africa's major coffee producing nations is Uganda. Producing 255 metric tons of coffee, Uganda's production provides 2.4% of the total output of global coffee. The bulk of coffee production is Robusta at 82% and Arabica accounts for the rest at 18%. And at number 9 is Peru. Peru produces 270,000 metric tons of coffee, accounting for 2.4% of the world's coffee. Peru's coffee beans are widely used in dark roast blends and as a base for flavored coffees. All the coffee grown in Peru is of the superior Arabica variety. Coffee grows extensively across the country, from the northwestern border with Ecuador, right through the central regions and onto the southern border with Bolivia. The only North American country to produce coffee in the world's top 10 is Mexico, producing 273,000 metric tons. Mexico's production accounts for 2.5% of the world's coffee. Almost all of the coffee produced in Mexico is of the Arabica variety at 96%, with the remaining 4% being the inferior Robusta variety. Coffee grows in the lower half of Mexico. The main growing regions are along the Pacific coast, the Gulf of Mexico, and at the border with Guatemala and Belize. India is one of the major coffee producing nations in Asia. India produces 329,100 metric tons of coffee. That accounts for 3% of the global coffee output. In India, Arabica and Robusta are both produced, but Robusta dominates production at 73%, with Arabica making up the remaining 27%. Coffee growing regions are spread throughout the lower half of India, with production mix of Arabica and Robusta. In sixth place is again one of the Central American countries, Honduras. Honduras produces 390,000 metric tons of coffee. That figure means Honduras provides the world with 3.6% of the world's coffee. All of the coffee produced in Honduras is of the Arabica variety. The bulk of the coffee growing regions is towards the west of the country, with the most concentrated areas being at the border with El Salvador in the west and surrounding capital Tegucigalpa. Next up is Ethiopia, the first of the African coffee producing nations. Ethiopia produces 441,000 metric tons of coffee, making for 4% of the world's total coffee output. All of the coffee produced in Ethiopia is of the superior Arabica variety. Coffee is produced mainly to the west of Ethiopia, but also in the central region east of the capital Addis Ababa. At fourth place is Indonesia, which produces 642,000 metric tons of coffee. Indonesia accounts for 6% of the world's coffee. The islands produce both Arabica and Robusta. Robusta makes up 91% of the production, with the remaining 9% being Arabica. Coffee is produced extensively throughout the islands. The Arabica variety is grown in New Guinea and can be found throughout the country. Robusta is predominantly produced in central Borneo. As for the rest of the islands, the production is a mix of Arabica and Robusta. We are now on top 3, and that is Colombia. Producing 858,000 metric tons, Colombian coffee accounts for 8% of the world's coffee. Colombia only produces the Arabica variety. In fact, it's actually the second highest producer of Arabica in the world. Coffee is mainly produced in the west of the country, stretching from its border with Ecuador in the south to the border with Venezuela in the north. Vietnam is the world's second largest coffee producer, producing 1,830,000 metric tons. Vietnam accounts for 17% of the world's coffee. Robusta makes up around 95% of Vietnamese coffee, with Arabica making up the remaining 5%. Growing regions are spread across the entire country. Robusta is predominantly produced in the south and Arabica in the north. Notable coffee producing regions are Central Highlands, North Vietnam, and South Vietnam. And the world's largest coffee producer, Brazil, producing 3,558,000 metric tons of coffee. Brazil accounts for around one-third of the world's coffee. Arabica makes up 69% of Brazilian coffee, with Robusta making up the remaining 31%. The main growing regions of Arabica are on the eastern side of Brazil, running through from Fortaleza in the north down to its border with Uruguay in the south. The main production of Robusta is in the state of Rondônia at the border with northern Bolivia. And there you have it, the top 10 coffee producing countries in the world. And next week we will try to discuss, as promised, coffee roasting. But before I let you go, I would like to personally thank each and every one of you who have supported this channel. A big shout out to everyone. And again, I highly appreciate the support. Thank you so much for watching, and always stay safe. God bless.